All right, so, hi, I'm Chrissy again. Hello.
Hi.
So, what I'm planning on doing is a dramatic retelling of how my parents met. Yeah. Actually, more like a comedic retelling of how you met. But here's the problem is, I don't listen so good because I'm ADHD. So all of the times my parents had told this story, I've either been half listening or not really paying attention. So that's the story you're going to get. It's the best of my recollection of how they met. But the good news is you can just shout out when I'm wrong and tell me where to change things. All right, so my mother lived in Brooklyn, and my father lived in, I don't know, one of the 5 boroughs. He lived in every single one of them, so choose one. Bronx?
Bronx, right?
Okay, he was in the Bronx at this point in his life. God knows, he lived everywhere. Okay, so my father was actually dating a girl who was not my mother. How dare you, sir? Okay? So she was going to school in Queens, I think. And my dad was supposed to go to a party that day. She lived in Boston. Whatever. She went to school in Boston? I don't care. Anyway, so here's the thing is, they were supposed to go, my dad had a party to go to in Staten Island. His boss, the child, I don't know if it was a girl or a boy. Was it a girl or a boy? It was a little boy's birthday party, okay? So, no, it's relevant. Because his boss, it was the party that he had to go to. And he was supposed to go with his girlfriend. So needless to say, the girl never showed up. She stood him up. Her loss. So anyway, my mom had been through a bad breakup. She wasn't really looking for anybody at that point. She was like, eh. But she had to go to her cousin's birthday party, right? Your cousin's child's birthday party in Staten Island, right? My dad had to go. So this woman never showed up. My dad had to go by himself, and he was not pleased. He was like, he was mad. And she's going, and she's like, whatever. So they all went to Staten Island, okay? Am I good so far? I'm right? Okay. So while they're at the birthday party, this is my mother's cousin Joan's young child, who's passed. I know I tried to get her to come to the party. I look on Facebook, and she passed away. I'm like, oh well, I guess she can't make it. Terrible. Sorry, rest in peace, cousin Joan. Anyway, so my dad went, and he noticed a pretty girl. And then my mom said she noticed a guy with his leg up, showing his calf off to a bunch of other guys, showing him what like a baseball player, what a real calf looks like, right? Isn't that it? You were showing off, you had your leg up and you were showing the guys what a calf looks
Did he have socks up to his knees?
Well, how would you see his calf if his socks were up to his knees?
Are we showing their oldest son what playing
Showing the
ball?
oldest son while playing ball. Because when my dad played for the minor leagues with the Yankees, he was showing what a real calf looks like, right? So my mom was like, well, anyway, so they noticed each other. My mother's cousin Joan, who was also the wife of your boss, right? Talk about kismet. Weird. She said, why don't you go outside and ask her out? And I guess he was like, okay. So he went out and he asked my mother out. And she said, hey, sure, why not, right? You asked him out. What?
Very
You asked him out? Now I know where I get it. Huh? I don't think they even knew each other,
Very
right?
aggressive.
She was very, she jumped on him. Anyway, so. You said you want my number? Oh my God. See, right? Here you go.
Don't focus on me.
Don't focus on me. Anyway, so here we are today. After all, they hit it off. They got married the next day, and then 6 months later, I was born. 3 months later, they were engaged.
Is that right?
5.5.
Yes, whatever. 3, 5, same thing. Quick. And then they got married like a couple of years later, right?
And then 9 months after that.
And then 10 years later, I came over.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so that's the dramatic retelling of how they met. But I just want to see, I got my mother to wipe her eyes. I'm happy. There you go. Either if I get my mother to dab in her eyes with a tissue, or my father to have a drink come out of his nose.
After they had Chrissy in 1976, they were so upset they had to try again.
No, yeah. They had a little happy accident, and then you came in. Anyway. So, yes, 50 years. That's a really long time.
Really long.
My husband and I are celebrating 25 years next week, on the 5th. And when we got married, my parents were celebrating their 25th. So this is how we pay you back, is you get a nice big party now. Yay! Even though life is backwards. Anyway, you guys have built an amazing life together. Thank you for having me. That was nice. And then thank you for having Richie. That was all right. I know, right? Oh no, we'd be so much uglier. Could you imagine? Ooh.
You would be here.
Anyway.
Uglier.
Anyway, happy anniversary. anniversary, guys. I hope you have the best time tonight. And I'm going to bring up my husband now, who would like to say something as well.
It's him.